The views and opinions presented in this media format don't reflect the views and opinions of Gracie NEPA as a whole. This broadcast is meant for entertainment purposes only and is the product of two idiots with microphones and far too much time on their hands. If you are easily offended, this podcast probably isn't for you. In addition, the content herein contains loud noises, adult humor, and language not suitable for children and most adults. Also, the opinions expressed herein are not intended for legal, medical, or financial advice. We are not experts, although we play them on TV. Void where prohibited. Batteries not included. No purchase necessary to win. Open to all legal residents 18 years or older in the continental U.S. Dealer participation may affect actual costs. Hosts are not responsible for personal items left in your car while listening to this or any other broadcast. This broadcast has zero cash value and should remain frozen until ready for use. Also, it should not be used by pregnant or nursing women and has been known to cause violent outbursts in lab animals. In case of ingestion, induce vomiting, and remember, these are professional drivers on a closed course. Do not attempt this at home. Serious penalty for early withdrawal and not a member of the FDIC.
Episode 6, Jeff Reese, Tyler Calvey, and we wanted to give a special shout out right off the bat, right?
Right off the bat. Big Kev.
It's a big cat.
Because we know you're going to turn it off in 3, 2, 1. Alright. Your attention span is gone. So, we love you, Big Kev.
We love you, Big Kev.
And we appreciate your support.
We do, absolutely. So we're going to talk a lot of stuff today. Bellator happened last night.
Yes.
We got MMA walkout music on tap. We have some wrestling on tap, and we have some Eagles football on tap.
Well, NFL
draft in general,
yeah.
but we're going to talk about the Eagles.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So what do you want to start with?
We'll go with the
Bellator?
Bellator. Yeah, kind of
Bellator.
kick it off with some MMA.
All right, what's your thoughts on it? Start with Dylan?
Yeah, we'll start with Dylan.
Yeah, of course, we got to start with Dylan.
Dylan wins submission toe hold.
Yeah.
Striking looked salty at best. So salty. Came out looking like a Conor McGregor clone, but it was a little less effective.
A little less effective? I would say a lot less effective.
He was blocking punches excellent with his face.
With his face, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He was in the Rocky Balboa mode where he's like, I'm just going to block punches with my face.
Right. But in an era where everybody's kind of jack of all trades, it's always interesting to see the specialist, and he pulls guard.
Yes, he did. Which at first
you were like,
my butt puckered.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
But yeah, it was excellent. He attacked some arm locks.
Yeah.
Into almost a sweep. The guy stood up. He transitioned into a leg and went knee bar to hold.
Right.
That taps quick.
Yeah.
First round
tap. Yeah, and that was a nasty toe hold.
Yeah, I think he popped it. The guy
he screamed.
Yeah,
he screamed. It was nice. You know. I'm gonna say in comparison to Gordon though.
No.
Or
Gary.
I mean,
Gary
Gary Tonin. Gary's debut was way better. Gary looked polished.
Right.
His striking looked good.
Striking looked way better,
Yeah.
but also competition-wise.
Yeah, he had a better. Did he have a better opponent? I think
don't
he
know.
did.
I don't know.
I mean, this guy was.
I'm always
going
going
to
to
Dylan
assume.
Dennis went against.
Yeah, but I'm going to assume though Bellator's roster is better than the ONE FC. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Either way, they're 1-0. Can
Right.
we get that match down the road?
Sure, for sure, yeah, because they
That's
hate
what
each
I
other.
see that.
Yeah,
We
I mean,
gotta see
there's bad blood there, and kind of the last thing on Dylan Dennis is, did you see the interviews?
Oh God,
Like, not leading up to the fight. I'm talking post-fight. Like
Post-fight,
leading up
no.
to the fight, he did a bunch of like garbage. Of
Yeah.
course, he's trying to sell
Yeah.
the fight. But to stand in the middle of the ring in which
Yeah.
Fedor Emelianenko is about to step into and say, you're the reason why this card is successful and you're the reason why everybody's in the seat, you're either arrogant or dumb as fuck. Because I just imagine Emilio coming up to him and going, my friend.
Yeah.
And Dylan just urine running down his leg. I get it. You're trying to be a showman. You're hanging out with Connor. Like, I get it. But don't, like, there's a point where you just go, I can't believe your own hype.
It's a big thing. It's not even about hype. It's about being authentic. When Connor is Connor is authentic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly.
Because now Connor is the polarizing character who's talking, walking the walk, and everybody wants to do that now.
Right.
You get the Colby Covingtons, the
Yeah.
Dylan Dennis. Even I feel Gordon Ryan and those guys trolling on the internet in the grappling realm.
And they are masterful trolls.
It's great, but I'm saying though, jiu-jitsu was never that.
Right.
You know, and they were trolling, like Dylan was a jiu-jitsu troll. Now you got AJ Arzam.
Yep.
He's throwing his right. Everybody wants to be Conor.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
But then we had that in the early days with Muhammad Ali. Everybody wanted to be Muhammad Ali. Right. Everyone wanted to talk the talk and walk the walk. There's a difference when it is genuine and when it's forced.
Right. Yes.
It needs to be who you are. If it ain't who you are, then fuck it. Then don't do it. Because you, like the Diaz brothers, like if you try to get a guy to be a Diaz, either you're a fucking Diaz brother or you're not. Yeah. Be who you are.
Just be you. Just be you.
And that was GSP. Like GSP, he is who he is. He's a martial artist kind of guy. And that's the flip side. I want these guys to tone it down. I think Bones Jones went the other way. He's trying to present himself as this nice guy and this clean-cut person. And he's not. He's a fucking wild man. Right. So embrace that. Yes. That's who you are. Be who you are. Right. Even if you're trying to be humble and you're not humble, it's not good. Right. If you're trying to be cocky when you're not cocky, it's no good. Just be genuine. Because in the fight game, it's one of the few battlegrounds still left in this world where you can't fake the funk. You can't front on it. And that's why everyone said, like, Conor is not at this, he's not that. No, he gets it done in the ring. He talks the talk, he walks the walk. Yep. And that's the fine line. Yeah. If you're going to just talk the talk just because you want a couple extra dollars, then go to fucking WWF.
Yeah, for sure. And it's people can smell when it's fake and when it's real. They just know. Yeah. You know, and that's what I always say. Just be you. Be genuine. People like you. People hate you. People love you. If they're indifferent to you, whatever it is, just be you, kid. Just be you, kid.
Just be you.
Just be you. Don't let somebody else's opinion change you.
Like I'm not saying be a dick all the time. Try and be a better person and naturally evolve and grow from year to year to year, but make it genuine. Yeah. Don't be fucking blowing coke on Wednesday and then going to a children's hospital on Thursday and then hookers on Friday, fight on Saturday, strip club all night, and then be who you are. Yes. You know, or other ways. Don't be a mouse and then someone puts a microphone in front of your face and now you're a fucking lion. Yeah.
Right. And you know, a tough guy, right?
So
basically, what you see is what you get.
That's it.
We're nice guys who like F-bombs.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I mean, I'm a jerk sometimes. Fuck it.
No different than, we're the same on camera and behind closed doors, on the mats. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah. So let's talk about Lovato Jr. Big fan of Lovato Jr.
Yes.
Primarily grappling because he's so new to MMA, but he looked outstanding.
Not so new. He's been dusting dudes in Bellator, man.
I'm saying, like, this is a new endeavor in his long career.
Yes.
Like his grappling career is way longer than his MMA career.
For sure.
Is what I mean by that.
Yeah. But it's successful as fuck MMA career.
Yes.
And not just a guy pulling guard. It's not Dylan. He's not a jiu-jitsu guy pulling guard.
He struck a little last night. And
he's won a couple fights
he got top position and grounded it out and got the head and arm choke. And it was tight. And that opponent he'd never been submitted before. And he sunk that head and arm and turned it, crushed it, and that was all she wrote.
And this is where Bellator, if I could give Bellator, you want my advice, promote him. He's your guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Not Chael fucking Sonnen. Not a fucking so salty ass Rampage Jackson. Fucking Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell. Stop. Those are the things that are going to bankrupt you because you're trying to sell the pipe dreams of the past. There's no future in that. Right. You know. We're gonna get to the heavyweight Grand Prix, which is not a bad premise, only because the heavyweights will always kind of have a special place in people's hearts because they're gonna come out and someone's gonna get knocked the fuck out most likely. Yeah, but my thing is Bellator, don't promote the shit out of Tito Ortiz versus Chuck Liddell in the future because I heard them. That's what they're right. Don't give me Rampage Jackson and fucking King Mo. Give me Lovato versus your up-and-comer. Give me Michael Chandler and your up-and-comer. Those are the guys that you should be saying, this is our main event. Not fucking whatever UFC washout I can get and throw a bunch of money at. Yeah. You know what I mean? You have Rory McDonald. Like, you need to be pumping him.
Yeah, Neiman Gracie.
Neiman Gracie, another guy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he looked good last night.
Yes.
And he's looked good in
a couple.
All of his previous.
Yes. But I mean, Lovato,
you know,
since he's gotten, I don't know if I think he's undefeated in MMA.
Is he? I don't know. I'd have to.
As a pro, maybe one loss, but I know he's been on a tear where he's looked super
looks
impressive,
good. Every time
and
I
he's
see him, he
fucking
looks good.
fighting on the undercards. Like
Right.
for a while, you have to search the internet to get his fight. That should be your co-main event.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
He's a true talent, but he's only got a shelf life. He's an older guy, so quit fucking putting him on the undercard. And he's got the look. He's got the talk. He's everything you want because he's got the swagger to sell you a little bit, but he's not, like we said, faking, cocky enough. But he's a super likable, nice guy.
Yep, likable, skilled, and real old school. I mean, he came up in jiu-jitsu when jiu-jitsu was a fighting art. Which last night, I mean, jiu-jitsu was, that whole card was jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like submission.
Yeah.
It was crazy amount of submissions that everybody looked really good. So
yeah.
Fedor and Mir. Fedor and Mir. I think everybody's been saying, "Oh, I've been waiting for this for a decade." It would have been the same outcome a decade ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what was your take on that fight? I mean, it wasn't much of a fight.
No, it was honestly a classic Fedor win.
Yes.
A classic Fedor. Like, it was exactly what every big Fedor win is. He comes out, he looks like he's half asleep.
Yep.
He gets hit with something.
It wakes him up.
He hits you with a judo throw, and then he puts hands on you.
Right.
And you fall before he does.
Yeah. Yep. And it was just. It was. I mean, if you were going to script it, you were going to say Mir hits him, Fedor goes down, Fedor gets up pissed, throws him on his head, Mir gets away because Mir's a good grappler, and then Mir gets over anxious, and Fedor clips him.
Bombs.
I mean, he literally tripped into a punch.
Yeah.
Like, not to discount anything from Fedor.
No.
But Mir literally tripped over Fedor's leg and got hit with the left hand.
Yep. But that's the exact reason why.
I had to rewind it. I'm like, what the fuck did he get hit with?
No, it was crazy. He just fell.
He fell.
Yeah. But it was but Fedor hit him right before that with something nice. When they got out.
Yeah, he kind of clipped him with the overhand that got him like on the back. I think he hit him with like the forearm, which I mean, it's gonna stunt you for sure.
Yeah.
But he did. He like tripped over his thing, and Fedor just hit him, and that was yes.
But that's why people like the heavyweights because
that's gonna happen.
Because like the whole time, it was the first 15 seconds. Fedor was dropped, so it was like,
are we gonna see an upset? Right.
And then he hits him with the throw, and then you fucking what the fuck? So that was it was entertaining.
Which now sets up Fedor versus Chael Sonnen. You know,
the smack talking from Chael's gonna be pretty.
It's gonna be pretty good.
He's a guy that it's not super genuine, but he does it in such a way that it's entertaining. Because he doesn't hide that it's shticky.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
and I think that's why it's good. Because it comes off as shticky.
His podcast is great. You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of that guy, but a toned down version.
Right.
But it's a, let me tell you, brother. Yep. You know, it's like kind of that.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of his things where he's like driving and he turns on his camera and he starts talking. It's funny. He's a funny dude.
Yeah.
You know, whether you like him as a fighter or don't like him as a fighter, like, you got to appreciate his humor. He is funny. And he knows what he's doing. He's selling himself. He's selling a product.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to go back to when you know it's genuine and when you know it's not. He's genuine about it. He goes, hey, I'm going to be this guy. I'm going to sell my product. You know, say your prayers, eat your vitamins. I'm going to rip off Hogan a little bit. I'm going to rip off, Bob Backlund. I'm going to rip off all these people, and I'm going to be me. You know, a Frankenstein monster.
Yeah.
You know. What's the other side of that? No, not King Mo. What's on the other side of that bracket?
Mitrione.
Mitrione. Yeah. Mitrione and who? You remember? I don't remember.
No, he just beat Roy Nelson.
He beat Roy Nelson.
Maybe King Mo.
King Mo, I think, is in it. Yeah, I think so.
Mitrione?
Yeah.
What do you make of Chael Sonnen versus Fedor?
I think Fedor wins.
Think?
Yeah, I do.
See, that's a fight where.
Because I don't
discredit a Chael Sonnen sleep fest where, dude, I mean, he just takes people down.
I know, but Fedor when Fedor loses, it's generally because he got clipped and knocked out. I don't think he's ever had a decision grounded out on him.
No.
You know, like, yeah, Chael may take him down, grind him out, but Fedor's going to lay there and just be like, oh, God, this again, and then he's going to get up and knock him out. I just see a finish on Fedor's part.
Yeah.
And I like Chael. I like Chael in the ring and out of the ring. I'm not, you know, but I don't know. He's not going to beat Fedor. And if he does, I'll eat my hat. But
I'm predicting.
You predicting it?
I'm predicting a fucking snooze fest, dry hump victory.
All right.
From
We'll go the. Hey, you still owe me $1, by the way.
For what?
For the Rose and Joe J check. We made the trading places bet.
Oh.
So we'll go double or nothing on this
Okay,
one.
double
or nothing
for
trading
sure.
places bet. It's either $2 or no dollars.
Okay.
It's on camera.
I'm taking
Verbal contract.
Chael Sonnen by dry hump. 15 minutes.
I'm
15
taking
minutes straight.
Fedor by sleep. He's gonna sleep him. Yeah.
It's just weird because it's like you don't know what Fedor you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I mean, Fedor coming off a win, he goes back to Russia, and you know it's
Being the
party
Ministry of Sport, which is I love that.
Dude, if you
didn't they create that position for him?
I think so.
I don't think that ever created.
Did you see his brother lately?
He's fat.
No.
No, the last time I saw him, he was fat.
Shredded. Nope.
No, last time I saw him, he was pudgy.
No.
Is he fighting again?
Dude, I think so. I think
because the last time I saw him, he was like.
Dude, he was shredded. He's fucking dropped. He's like 6% body fat. Like he's like
abs. He got off his couch and.
Well, he was in jail for a while. He was in jail for a while. Yeah.
All right. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And now he's out. Remember he got arrested? I think it was next night. He had the craziest mugshot of all time. Google his fucking mugshot.
I'm gonna have to because I don't remember any of that. I don't remember any of that. I just remember the last time I saw him, he looked like a couch potato.
Okay, just
think like Abbott. Like
yeah.
Just
think of his fucking like. Just think of like a fucking Frankenstein monster, like microwaved and bloated. He looked. His fucking mugshot is. I can't believe you know that.
I don't remember that. I really don't.
It was all over the internet. Scary. He like just the creepiest looking.
Outside of like,
I've probably sent you the meme. There's too many of them. There's too many of them.
So we're gonna get into the best MMA walkout music, but there's in that conversation of Bellator, there's two things that came up. One, do you remember when Roy Nelson came out to Weird Al Yankovic? I'm fat.
Yeah.
How great was that?
Yeah.
I mean, we're obviously not gonna say that's one of the best MMA walkouts of all time, but it just sparked my memory because it's in our show notes that we're gonna be talking about it, and it's great.
He's great.
Like, just to embrace it.
Yeah.
Being like, yeah, I'm fat and I'm going to knock you out. And, you know, shout out to the fat guys out there.
Yeah.
Shout
We've all
out to the
been
fat
there.
guys. I'm there now. I'm riding heavy. Ice cream, pizza, wings.
Yeah.
I am. I'm off the rails right now. I need an intervention. I almost said Gene Simmons. Richard Simmons. I need Richard Simmons to come into my life and cry with me. And we could sweat to the oldies together in little shorts. You know. So let's talk best MMA walkouts. I have a few loaded up. I'm going to play them.
Okay.
Maybe see if you can pick them right up.
Yes, okay.
Guess them. Right. But before that, I want to say, because I don't have this one queued up, but Fedor, when he comes out to that Russian crazy, I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Like Siberian funeral dirge or whatever it is. And I don't know if it's the song or if it's the song with his presence.
Right.
Because he comes walking out of that tunnel and it's like Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees just coming out of it. And you're like, man, I thought this dude was dead. I thought I chopped his head off. I thought I burned his body. I thought I threw him in a lake. And here he comes again. He's just got that scary... So I don't know if it's the song or if it's the combination of the song and the fighter.
I feel it's... Yeah, he's like a shark. It's a motionless killing machine.
Yes, that's how I feel.
Like that's where it's like, yeah,
that's what I feel. So let's get into MMA walkouts, and obviously you're going to be able to see the songs I have queued up, but
I'll be able to. Yeah,
you're gonna. Good song, right?
Yeah.
Now let's let that play a little bit. Gotta let that play a little bit.
Any longer than that, we'll have
Any
to
longer
pay.
than that, we'll have to pay for it. But I'm not a Ronda fan.
Ronda Rousey, yes.
I'm not a Ronda fan. But when that
she still comes up to that for
wrestling, yeah. But Joan Jett, like, she's badass. And when like that, it just hits, and you're like, oh shit, all right,
cool. That's a good song.
That's a good song.
Yeah,
you know,
come up to that for a fight for sure.
she, you know, Ronda's resting bitch face makes it work. Everything works with that. You know, like everything about that works for her. So, but she's still using it for WWE.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it works for her. This one here, I'd say, is iconic here.
Yes.
Let's see. We'll let this one play a little bit. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. It's like glow sticks and shit, right? Yep. That's it, right? Wanderlei Silva. Like when he would come out to this, you'd get fired up. I'd get fired up and be like, ready to fight. You know, you knew something was gonna go down. What do you think about Wanderlei's song? You know, turn that down a little bit as we talk here.
Does he still come out to this?
I don't know, does he?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I haven't seen Wanderlei fight in a while. I gotta assume he is. I mean, when he came to the UFC, he used it, right? He definitely used it in the UFC. I don't think he switched his song. I really don't.
I don't remember the last time I saw Wanderlei fight, but I remember in Pride though that this was his shit.
This was it. Yeah. I mean, for sure. This was one of my favorite ones.
This one I don't know who came out to this.
This one was. We talked about him last week. Jim Miller. Jim Miller. No, does nothing for you? Huh?
Well, you said Jim Miller came out to this once.
Yeah,
I'm saying, like, once. When you're saying, you know, entrance music, it's got to be
who you associate it, your signature.
Like your signature. You come out to this song every time, win, lose, or draw.
Yeah. Now he came out to it once, and it was just a cool thing because it was the way they had everything set up, and it was for me that was a memorable one.
Right.
Where I was like, plus, greatest American rock band of all time is Aerosmith.
Very well. Here's the fact
I defy you to tell me a better American rock band.
No, right? Well, here's my thing about Aerosmith, though, real quick. Steve, I don't know if you want to put this as like Steven Tyler is a genius or a pedophile, but listen, no, ready?
I'm ready.
You know where this is coming?
I know where you're going. Yeah, I'm ready.
He convinced a 14-year-old girl's parents to allow him to legally adopt her so he can have her on tour with him as his girlfriend. She was 14. I'm sure he was over 18.
Definitely,
he was in his 20s.
Yeah, he was in his 20s, I think. Yeah.
How the fuck?
And these are the things people forget about.
Right. Like nobody talks about that shit.
No.
I said it to Kelsey's sister. She's like a huge classic rock fan. Like she goes to all the Rock 107s, all that stuff. I told her that, and she's like, no way. She Googled it, and she's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rock and roll in the 80s and 70s before social media, shit was wild.
Yeah.
That's like sex, drugs, rock and roll. They all went together.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, there was no, again, fakeness about it.
No.
They weren't faking it.
No.
They were off the rails every night. Every rock band, everything. I remember a story about Steven Tyler getting clean, and it was after a show. He said he was out partying somewhere, and somebody came up to him and they were like, "Oh, I remember you used to be Steven Tyler," and he was like, "Well, used to be Steven Tyler," and he's like, that moment was like his rock bottom, and that's what forced him to get clean, where he was so unrecognizable that somebody was like, "Oh, you used to be that guy, Steven Tyler."
That's funny you say that. Segue into this. My 6th grade bus driver showed me even pictures to prove this. He was in rehab with Steven Tyler.
Yeah?
Nice. They were both in there for heroin.
Nice.
Which I don't know if my bus driver is telling me that,
him.
you know.
Good for the bus driver.
No, but he was clean after that. Cool ass dude. Cool dude. He used to put on the radio for us. Like a lot of bus drivers back in the day, they're like old crotchety people. Like this was like the fucking the guy from the Simpsons Auto. Yeah, he was like, "Yo, dude, what's up, little dude?" And then he would, tell us how to stay away from drugs because, he was in rehab with Steven Tyler, and he showed us pictures. A lot of other kids weren't that impressed, but my mom grew me up on classic rock, and I knew all about Sweet Emotion.
Yeah. Dude looks like a lady.
Dude, you're right. Aerosmith had like, they were hot in the 70s. They came back in the 80s, and then they killed it in the 90s, and then towards 2000 they threw some ballads out there for
Crazy.
What was no,
Armageddon.
Armageddon. That became a huge hit.
Yeah.
Like the hugest hit of their career, and that was 30 years later.
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
Toys, what was the first Toys in the Attic?
Toys in the Attic.
Toys in the Attic. So you're talking Toys in the Attic to Armageddon soundtrack. There's fucking 30-some years in between there. And, fucking...
Did you ever hear the story about Dude Looks Like a Lady, what inspired that song, or no?
Mrs. Doubtfire?
Does that... No. There was, Steven Tyler was waiting, it was like in a hotel lounge or lobby or whatever, hotel bar for, like, the co-writer, and I forget who the co-writer of that song is, but waiting for him, and, guy finally arrives, and Vince Neil is at the bar. And when the guy sits down at the table, Steven Tyler says, "How about this dude? Looks like a lady." And I guess later on they were back in the room and we were doing things, and like it started as a joke and then became this like iconic song. So Vince Neil inspired Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Yeah. Vince Neil did not age like a lady though.
No, God, no. Well, maybe a Walmart lady.
Yeah, he looks like a Walmart lady. Like the lady who drives around in the little cart thing but has nothing wrong with her. She's just fat. Yeah.
Fingers.
Any type of Edo, like Doritos, Fritos, burritos, all that's in her cart. She's got high fructose corn syrup and orange artificial cheese dust is her whole shopping list. That's what Vince Neil turned into. Yeah, but that was the look in the 80s, man. The more you look like a chick,
the better
the androgynous look.
Yeah.
I mean, I was confused as fuck as a kid. I didn't know what the hell was going on because the vocals sounded like dudes, but they all looked like pretty girls, kind of like Poison. They were the prettiest.
Yeah,
might have been. They might have been the prettiest.
Might be pretty.
Yeah, he's still pretty.
We don't know
I don't know what the fuck's under that hat. Yeah, on that bandana. He's never gonna show. Like that's gonna be like, like landing on the moon. Like we're gonna have like fucking president be like, all right, we're going in. You know,
figure this out.
SEAL Team 6. We're removing it. This one now.
This is iconic. Right?
Iconic. You don't know.
We'll crank this right up here for everybody. Oop. Hey, we're new to this. We don't know what we're doing. There we go. And I like him. Yeah, he's a great fighter. Not Dr. Dre. Uriah Faber. Awesome fighter, right? I just want to listen to this. I don't want to talk anymore.
That's the dude.
That right there, like
that's Uriah Faber. That's what I'm saying, though. That's Uriah Faber. Yeah, like, that's Uriah Faber.
Especially because obviously he's used that in like every single one of his fights. But he's had 3 fights in California, 3 or 4 in California, and when that hits, that crowd goes bananas. It's like insanity.
Yes.
You know.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't even like hear the microphone or the announcers. They're like, "And it's Uriah Faber." You know, like they really have to shout over the crowd. That's iconic.
Yeah.
Where's Uriah at now? He's done, right? He's done. He's like retired. I'm just going to concentrate on training fighters and and all of that. Good for him. This one.
This one I know.
This one, yeah.
Not a great one, no.
You don't think it's a great one?
Nah, for a fight.
No. Actually, he uses the DMX version of it.
Yes.
But I couldn't find the DMX version of it.
Oh, okay.
Because every time I loaded it up, it was blocked. Blocked content.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm going to say with you
didn't
like that?
No, I do like his, but it's a little too mellow for a fight. But that's his style.
But that's his style, right? Yeah, that's his style. You can see my search history.
Yeah.
Whoa, hey.
Yeah. I don't think that's a song.
Is that a song? That's not a song?
No. It's definitely not legal in most states in the continental U.S.
I think I misspelled gone when she. Wait, what? Definitely. All right, we got. Hang on. We're experiencing technical difficulties here because the. Where's it at here? Ah, see, there it is. Now it comes up.
There it is.
There it is. Let's play it. Let's play that one. We'll play that one. A little better, right? can you not be a fan of that? Like,
no, I mean DMX, you're gonna be all right.
Now I'm gonna back it up here. While we listen to this, I'm gonna back it up because I want to catch that one because this is one that you actually threw at me.
Yes,
that I was
backing it up.
Where's that at? You know which one I'm looking for, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, maybe it's 4. Let's see. We're gonna find it. Hold on. We're gonna find it. Give us 3 seconds. There it is. It's coming up. Right there. There it is. I knew I had it. I had it in the queue. This is why we need a producer.
Yeah, we do. Anybody who's looking for a job,
We need a producer.
that pays nothing.
That pays absolutely
But this
nothing.
is Chock Liddell.
This is Chock Liddell.
This
Yeah.
is.
And you knew shit was about to hit the fan.
Now this is like, if you're gonna go to a fight, this is kind of what you.
Absolutely. We're just gonna listen to this for a second. 'Cause you knew shit was going down.
Dog, that's my man's in them.
We're ready to fight now.
yeah.
It's like angry and shit. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm gonna be impressed with how many people know this one. We know this one.
I know
We got
this one.
history with this
Yes.
one. We have real history with this one.
Yes.
But it's a damn good song.
But here's the thing: the person who used it, it's so like knowing this person as well as we do, the fact that he picked this song, you're like, damn, son,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I just didn't. Knowing him, if I had to pick what song he was going to pick, this probably wouldn't have been in my top 10.
Yep.
But the fact that it was,
And
it really is.
I just thought of another song as we're talking about this. I'm going to cue it up on my phone here, but you're right. I never would have
Yeah.
thought this song for this person
Mhm.
in a million years, ever. So let's hit that while we're because now we're teasing it.
Yeah.
Now we're just teasing it, you know. It's coming. It's coming. We need a producer. Producer Joe. We need producer
Yeah.
Joe. Get Tyler out of the way. He's a fucking code monkey here. Doesn't know how to. And he'd come out with that swagger too,
Yeah.
and again, because we knew him behind the scenes like that,
Yeah.
he had a switch. We haven't even said his name yet, but he had a switch. Like he was a real mild-mannered dude,
Yeah.
and that music would hit, and he'd become straight killer, man.
Yeah.
He would, for sure.
With that intro too. In the street, they call it
So good. So good.
Yeah. Jimmy Hedis.
So
Excellent.
good.
Excellent choice.
So good. That was iconic right there.
Yeah.
You know, and again,
And that's Hedis.
we're
Like that
real
was
familiar with it.
and
you
that
know.
was Hedis. Like as soon as I saw it, like my first thought in my head was Jimmy Hedis. Like California Love, as much as it's a iconic song outside of, I
Right.
think of Uriah Faber.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Oh man,
you saw what I just loaded
yeah.
up, right? Now,
Yeah.
listen, nobody, I couldn't get it to play on here on the queue, so.
Yeah.
But you know I got it on my phone.
Yeah.
You know I do.
I know you do.
Let me see. Oh, Tyler knows my password now. I'm gonna have to change it, otherwise I'm gonna have a lot of dick pics on my phone. All right, we're gonna play this one. We're gonna load this one up here. It's gonna take a second to queue, but I don't know how many people are actually gonna know this. But I love this song.
Yeah.
I love this song.
I know.
And I love the guy that
the group.
the group. I love the song. I love everything about it. Hopefully my phone is loud enough to.
Yo, Ninja.
Yeah. See, it won't play in the queue, but.
Yeah.
And there's only a few of us who know who this fighter is.
Yeah.
Because he never went pro. He did go pro, but he didn't break into the mainstream. If you don't know who the group is, it's D Antwoord, and the song is Enter the Ninja. And this is one of the best. Like, I wish James Cianci had made it to the UFC simply to see him come out to this song.
James Cianci.
Big stage, man. Humble Pie.
Yep.
Right?
I still have his t-shirts.
I do too. I still have one of his t-shirts, yeah.
I've seen him. Actually, I saw him. He lives in Old Forge. I kind of passed by him. I saw him in the car. He gave me like, whoa.
Yeah, man. That song right there is so good. And I had no clue until he came out to that song who that group was.
Yeah.
The song, everything.
And then
I fallen in love. Man, I have fallen in love with that group. You hate them.
I don't hate them. I just think they're ridiculous.
You guys got to. You got to. If you don't know who D Antwoord, if you do know who D Antwoord is, good for you.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you got to just do some research. Listen to their music.
Yeah.
But interviews, you gotta watch.
His interviews are something. The best though is that you sent me the story about him meeting Kanye and the fucking banana pudding and shit.
Oh my god!
Like
I think we should tell the story that talk about the video. But
yeah,
go and Google D Antwoord, Kanye West banana pudding.
Yeah,
and you'll find the video. But this story was
Ninja meets Kanye.
Ninja meets Kanye, something like that.
The main guy rapping, his name is Ninja.
His name is Ninja, yeah. And
it's another chick, what, Yolanda?
Yolandi Fessa, yeah. And she's hot. I love her.
She looks like a fucking alien.
These are
fucking white trash from South Africa.
South Africa. They're from the ghettos of South Africa.
Of like, they're like 40 years behind us with like pop culture and knowledge.
For sure. Yeah.
And
they're way behind us in pop culture knowledge.
These people are something else. But and they make music that some people like, but
some people like.
Yeah.
We're not pointing any fingers.
No.
But that story, because they were on tour with Drake.
Yes.
Right? They were like opening for Drake, or was it like a music festival?
Yeah, I think it was a music festival. And they said something like "fuck Drake."
They were like "fuck Drake."
Yeah, he's like a soft.
Yeah. And so somehow that created beef with Drake and D Antwoord and Ninja, and Ninja winds up meeting Kanye along the way at another festival or whatever, and Kanye calls him up out of the blue and he's like, "Hey man, you want to play basketball with me?"
Yeah. So come to my house.
Come to my house. So he goes over to Kanye's house, and when he gets there, Kanye says Drake is hosting a pickup game, and
neighbors. Kanye and Drake are neighbors.
Yeah,
obviously.
And Ninja never says anything about the beef with Drake. So they go and play basketball, and they wind up beating Drake and Drake's crew. And what you guys gotta watch this video because he talks about Drake just getting pissed and storming off. Because Drake's supposed to be like this baller, you know? And they go back to the house, and they're sitting there watching TV, and Kanye puts on porn. Like just.
And if anybody knows anything about Kanye, that's like part of his creative process, I guess. When he's like, he watches porn all the time.
Just a couple of dudes hanging out watching porn together.
Yeah.
And he offers them banana pudding.
Yeah.
And Ninja wasn't sure what he meant by banana pudding,
but. Legit ass Kim Kardashian
made banana pudding.
So
that's what it turns out.
This fucking white trash rapper from fucking South Africa, Johannesburg, fucking ends up at Kanye's house eating banana pudding with Kim Kardashian.
Made by Kim Kardashian, yeah.
And he goes, "Hey, it was fucking really good."
It was really
He's
good.
like, "It was really fucking good."
Really fucking good,
man.
Yeah. Yeah. When I sent you that video, I was dying.
I was laughing at that. That was good. I liked it. And it's animated too, so it's good. You gotta see it. There's more details in there that we're missing, but it's really.
We're just giving you the highlights to inspire you to watch it.
Yeah, watching fucking porn. But Kanye, I guess he watches porn all the time.
And I want to inspire you guys to listen to more D Antwoord because they're really good.
Yeah.
We got any more? No, we don't have any more. That's
okay.
All of them.
Well, that a couple that I would like. I can't believe you don't have this one here.
Which one?
You should be ashamed.
Which one? I can't think of everything. I'm old.
Country Boy.
Oh, Country.
Yes. Matt Hughes.
Oh.
That is iconic. That is Matt Hughes to the fucking. I don't know who sings that. Matt Hughes sings that song now.
Yeah. Hank Williams Jr.
Yes. BJ Penn.
Didn't think about
BJ
that one.
Penn's is pretty epic with the whole fucking
Hawaiian
national
theme.
anthem.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor's is actually excellent. The mashup between
I know what you're talking
Sinead
about.
O'Connor.
Dewey Point?
Yeah.
Dewey Fog?
Yeah. Foggy Dew.
Foggy Dew.
Foggy Dew.
Yeah.
Sinead O'Connor breaking into fucking Notorious B.I.G.'s
Yeah.
Notorious
Yep.
is pretty fucking iconic too. 'Cause that shit gets fucking hype as fuck. A little bit off Conor McGregor. He said he wants Khabib in Russia.
Yeah.
He wants Khabib in Russia. He's gonna fucking bring it to Siberia. He said.
I hope it happens. I hope it happens.
One more. I think Dan Henderson.
Dan Henderson.
Lunatic Fringe.
Lunatic Fringe. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fucking.
Country Boy Can Survive. I can't believe I forgot that one.
Yeah,
That's
you're a
such
piece
a
of
good one.
shit
I am
for
a
that.
horrible human being.
I
for
cannot
that one,
believe that.
You know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because he beat up Royce Gracie, and I still have a bad taste in my mouth over that.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
he's
Yeah, hey, no, but he's Matt Hughes. Matt Hughes is one of the greatest fighters of all time, and
that
I'm a
song,
Matt Hughes fan.
And that song is like I've never even really knew that song
I
until
can't believe
he
I forgot that one.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of those. Yeah, I am a human piece of garbage.
Yep.
There's been a lot of but is that what really makes me human garbage? I mean, we could go down a litany of it. You know,
yeah.
Like,
Tune in next week. We have a 2-hour podcast
about why
we're
I'm
just
human garbage.
and we're going to call that the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a 3-part series, focusing in on
It'll be
the
on Mike's
levels
plan.
of piece of shitness that is Jeff. It's a trilogy. Maybe it's like a Star Wars. The trilogy's going to be real good. The prequels might be a little fluff, and then the sequels will leave you wanting.
Yeah.
But it is filled with half-cocked villains and a bunch of half-cocked villains and
I'm rigid right now.
Yeah.
There's been other ones along the way, like you said with the Sweet Emotion one, where it wasn't directly associated with fighters, but like that in the Born in the USA, when he was fighting in London.
Oh, okay.
And I think he was fighting Bisbing in London,
so, yep.
and he came out to Born in the USA, and they were booing, and he's just like, I'm deaf, I don't give a fuck. He's like, boo me all you want. I think he had a shirt on that might have said, boo me, I'm deaf, or something, and that was a good one. Michael Bisbing coming out to London Calling.
Yeah.
There's been, like, one-shots along the way.
But there's a
that
couple,
are,
like, iconic fighters that I
good.
can't even think of their songs. Like, I don't know. Like Bones Jones.
Couldn't tell
What
you
is
the song
what's
if you
Daniel
put.
Cormier?
Couldn't
He's
tell
gotta
you.
come out to a.
Couldn't tell you.
He
You could put a
comes
gun
out
to my head and I
He
couldn't
comes
tell
out
you.
to a country song, I believe. But yeah, like they're talking about like the greatest fighter of all time. You know, like GSP. I think it's like a fucking Canadian techno jam.
Something. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking Nokia. It sounds like a Nokia ringtone.
Oh. A lot of the Pride fighters had songs you couldn't identify, like when Hickson would come out. You know, it'd be the smoke and the.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't know what that song.
No, but
was.
I'm saying though, like in the UFC, that's a big thing. A lot of guys ride with, and it becomes, like I said, part of them. And it's superstition too, especially if you're winning with it.
Yeah.
It becomes like a thing.
For sure.
But I can't think of Bones Jones. I think Bones Jones switches it up. Vitor Belfort was pretty good. He comes out to like the Brazilian Brazilian rap.
Yep.
Pretty Bora, que se bota dos padres, bora, la cola porra, graço chora.
Just gonna throw a bunch of words in there that you know.
Craio, açaí uma prata.
Just throw a bunch of Brazilian words together. It'll sound
But it
like
was
rap.
pretty. His is pretty good. But it was serious. It came out like it was like some like raspy voiced guy doing like a Lord's Prayer in Portuguese, mixed with some hip hop.
Yep.
So,
mixed with
but
some TRT and some anger.
TRT and Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its for sure. I think that's all of them.
Yeah.
You know, that I can think of. I can't believe it. I feel really bad ending on that note of missing Matt Hughes. I really do.
I thought we should
it is
probably
what it is.
Connected and talked about it.
Yeah, you know, it's not like I didn't try to ahead of time.
No, it was nice. It was nice.
So,
but that's behind me.
So we're gonna transition now into wrestling. And every podcast I think so far we've talked about wrestling, but it's such an interwoven part of American pop culture. Like every week there's something happening that's somehow related to wrestling. You know, you got John Cena making movies, you got The Rock making movies, you got this and this and this. And two really big things happened this past month. Bruno Sammartino died.
Yes.
And they had the first ever wrestling event in Saudi Arabia. So I want to talk about Bruno because I have like all kinds of political thoughts on the Royal Rumble. Like, we're going to get heavy. We're used to dick and fart jokes, but I'm actually going to show that I'm a little bit of a scholar.
Okay.
I'm not going to claim to be a scholar, but a little bit of a scholar.
wrestling scholar.
But I want to talk about Bruno Sammartino because his body of work was mostly done before I was alive.
Mm.
His reign as champion was ended in 71. I was born in 72. He retired in 87.
It's 1772.
He retired in 1987. You were born 84. So he retired. Like, you don't have any memory of Bruno.
No.
I have memory of Bruno, but not all of it. You know what I mean? But everybody knows Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah.
Everybody, the world knows him.
But I had Tino Sammartino, right? Didn't it?
Tito. No.
Tino Sammartino.
You're thinking of Tito Santana. Arriba? That guy?
Oh yeah.
Arriba.
Oh yeah.
That's Tito Santana.
Oh, okay. Then I know.
Yeah, that's he's
I got nothing.
Yeah, you got nothing for him.
No.
Bruno Sammartino. He still to this day holds the longest reign as a champion. But
It's crazy.
like his story, like you talk about the American dream, like what is the American dream and everything. So he's born during the World War II era, right? He lives in the mountains of Italy in some small village, and they're kind of precluded from the war. And then in the middle of the night, the Nazis come storming into this town, right? His mother grabs him. Him and the family run. A whole bunch of families run. They make it to this mountain, and it's a 24-hour trek up the mountain, and they stay up there for months. And every couple of days, the mother has to go down the mountain, go in and forage for food, climb back up the mountain to feed the kids, right? They get discovered. They have them all lined up on their knees, ready to be shot, and some of the Italian forces just happen upon the site and wind up killing these Nazis before they can kill these villagers, right? A few months later, the war ends, armistice happens, they come to America. He's still sick from that. I think he was like 80 pounds, he said, or something like that. So now he's an Italian kid living in Pittsburgh, getting the shit kicked out of him every day, and some Jewish kid makes friends with him. He's like, hey, let me take you over to the Jewish club, you know, we'll get you lifting weights and whatever. And now he gets in, and now you can picture Bruno in your head, like what Bruno looks like. So he goes from this 80-pound kid to this like 265-pound gorilla of a man, you know, and goes on to become arguably probably the most influential wrestler of all time, because without him there would be no WWF.
Right.
Which would, then there would be no WWE.
Yeah. He was the Babe Ruth.
He was the Babe Ruth of wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So without him, there'd be none of what today.
There's guys who've come after him with better numbers,
right,
and better flash, and better all that. But he was the guy when nobody knew what to make of it.
Yes.
They wanted to tune in to see him.
Yeah. He sold out Madison Square Garden 187 times.
Yeah. And
sold out Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
Like, that was unheard of.
Right. And that was when people didn't know what it was.
Right.
So he was the guy. Same thing with baseball. It was so new that the Babe Ruth brought people, and people didn't know really what baseball, but they knew Babe Ruth.
Right.
And then, so by the time Hank Aaron came along, it was already established. The fan base was already there. So by the time Hulk Hogan came along, it was already in the zeitgeist. People were already tuning in, and then he came. Hogan was arguably probably the most successful over time, but only because he came along at the time where it was lucrative. Right. There was the boom of the commercialization period.
And that was why he got out of it. That was why Bruno got out of it. I watched an interview about it because they're airing all this stuff since his death. But they were saying, I watched an interview with him. That's why he left, because in '87 is when things were starting to go the rock and wrestling route of entertainment. And he was like, I was a wrestler because we wrestled.
Yes.
Yeah,
he probably wrestled like real in high school.
He's like, yeah, we wrestled for real. He goes, even though it was sports entertainment, he goes, we wrestled for real.
Right.
And it wasn't entertainment.
Yes.
He's like, we broke necks, we broke backs, we got hurt all the time, whatever. And but yeah, I mean that was why he retired. But I remember a story. Arnold Schwarzenegger was talking about this. He gave a story because he had Schwarzenegger and who was the other guy in Mr. Olympia? Colombo?
Oh, Colombo.
Yes. And so they were saying they were competing, And he said they were backstage, and Arnold was like, hey, Franco, come here. You got to see this guy out here. And he's like, look at that guy right there. Look at that judge. And he's like, the judge was bigger than they were, bigger than Arnold. And he's like, they were intimidated, and it was Bruno Sammartino. He's like, we found out later that's who it was. It was Bruno Sammartino. He goes, but it was so intimidating to be ready to walk out on stage going, that judge is bigger than we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but that was the thing. Like Bruno, you know, I just wanted to touch on that. He's one of those iconic sports figures that I think, you know, everybody knows him.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a wrestling fan, you go, oh yeah, I've heard of Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah, Babe Ruth. Yeah.
So, Royal Rumble.
And there's not tons of film on him. He's not like, but you know of him. You know, you even know what he looks like, but you probably never even seen him play.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Babe Ruth effect.
Right?
Where
And
we see a couple highlights, but there wasn't film of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it just wasn't a televised situation, so you only see clips here and there.
And to be honest with you, he was like that cross. He was that cross-cut of America too, where, you know, because you're talking about an era where there was a lot of social, racial bias, right? So, you know, Italians hated Irish, Irish hated Jews, you know, so and such. But every single person loved Bruno Sammartino.
Right.
Didn't matter.
Right.
You could be an Irish Jew and you loved Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah.
Like, he was just that unifying figure because of his American dream story, where people went, listen, if this kid who survived Nazi invasion in the hills of Italy can become at that time probably one of the most popular people on the planet.
Yep. No, but that's what sports I think will always do. I think sports are the great
hurdle. Yeah, it's the great unifier.
Yeah, the great unifier.
Yeah,
there's no other thing besides sports, and that's why I don't even want to get too off it. But the whole NFL kneeling thing, no matter if you're for it or against it, I'm not going to get into that. But I don't like how it's divided sports and sports watching, because I think that football especially, it's the great team sport, and it's brought so much people together, and it's brought so much progress of people accepting people from all different walks of life and places, just because it's, hey man, because there's two ways to become brothers: through blood, you're born, or through sweat. You grind next to each other. And in football, you blood, sweat, and tears. So. And the same thing with wrestling, where wrestling, back then it was a sport. So when people can all say, hey man, I don't like this guy because of where he's from or who his family is, but they can all look to that guy and they go, hey man, you know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I should give a different look if this guy is, you know.
Right.
And I think that sports have done that, and entertainment, music has done that, and we need to keep moving it forward, man. All love. No matter where you're from, what you look like, who your dad is, who your mom is, it's all love. We're just all people with meat suits on. Deep down, we're all souls, man. We're just all souls. We're souls riding around the meat vehicle.
So I want to get into the Royal Rumble, and
please let's.
No, we have to, and I want to get into it because they've never. This is the first event they've ever had in Saudi Arabia, right?
Okay.
And when I first heard they were doing this in Saudi Arabia, now I'm going to give everybody a quick crash course because, you know, everybody knows me. Like I love dick and fart jokes. You know, I'm going to be the first one to bust. You know, I'm going to be the first dick jokes and fart jokes, not dick.
I love dick.
But that's
jokes.
That's going to be the sound bite. Tyler's just going to clip that out. But you know, I'm well read. I do things. So, Saudi Arabia in the last year, right? So, here's a crash course. And if you want to tune out during this, you can tune out during this. But it's actually interesting. So, you know, Saudi Arabia in the last year, you have the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salam, who is the son of not the Supreme Ruler. I'm just thinking of Snopes. The king. Right, so there's all this conjecture that the king is either in failing health or failing mind, and Mohammed bin Salad, I'm just going to call him MBS, he had the entirety, because you know how the Saudi family is, it's like 100 fucking princes with, you know, 100 wives and 100 kids, like, that's how the Saudi family is, right? So it's the royal family, and there's so many of them, and he, in one night, he got the military and police force to go and round up all these like high-level Saudi princes, businessmen, everything, in what he called a corruption scandal. He's like, these are all corrupt people, right? So he rounds them all up, throws them in jail. Now, when I say jail, they're at like the Ritz-Carlton or something, and they're there under lock and key, right? So he makes this massive power grab overnight, right? Now, all of a sudden, he goes, I'm going to the United States. And he starts doing this media tour of the United States. He's business leaders, meeting with business leaders, all this stuff. And he goes to, he repeals all these bans on women, right? Women can drive now. Women can attend sporting events now. Now, you know, listen, they're not free, whatever. There's still like tons of it. But he's being progressive, let's say that, right? Yeah. And all of this comes amidst the fact that Saudi Arabia has been tied to 9/11, right? Saudi Arabia is at war with Yemen. Saudi Arabia has fingers in Lebanon, and they're not good with Iran right now, right? So there's this hotbed of like this Middle East where this young guy is coming up and shaking things up in the region. You know what I mean? And the WWF goes there. WWE goes. I have a hard time calling it WWE. Whatever. WWE goes there, and no women were allowed to go. No women could compete on the card, so their entire women's division stayed home. Right?
So no Nia Jackson.
Nothing. No. I know you love you some Nia Jackson. So the entire women's division stays home, right? Because they're not allowed.
Right.
They're not allowed. Stephanie McMahon wasn't allowed.
Wow.
To go, right? And certain members of the roster who are Muslim couldn't go because they were fearful for their lives, right? It's an Islamic nation, right? Yeah. But not all Muslims and Islams get right. Yeah. So you know they don't get along real well. So there were certain who couldn't go. So my whole thing was, as a billion-dollar company, how do you fucking justify that? To go, we're going in here, you know, even though
a Saudi prince got a shit ton of money.
And that's what I was gonna say. A Saudi prince. It's the same reason why Beyonce will go, because there's a certain price where your moral compass goes, disappears, and you go, give me the money, and what have you, you know. So, and listen, I'm never using the Vince McMahon as a barometer of moral compass, but you know, it was just mind-boggling that it happened. Yeah. You know, so that's all I wanted to say on it. The event itself was lackluster. There was botches out the wazoo. Jeff Hardy came off the top rope and actually missed his signature move, and the guy sold it anyway. Like, literally missed it. I'm talking, like, missed it by that much. And the guy goes, and falls over, like, where you went, what the fuck? Another guy running out of the ring tripped and slid under the ring. Like, running, he's like, he trips and he goes, under the fucking ring. I lost it. I had to rewind it about 100 times. You know, but that's all I wanted to say. That was my diatribe on business and moral ethics. And you know, I appreciate that the world is getting smaller, right? In our lifetime, we might see a unified Korea. Yeah. Right? In our lifetime, maybe we're going to see a unified Middle East if Saudi Arabia and Lebanon and Yemen can all get their shit under control. Maybe.
Or maybe a unified one world government.
Or maybe a unified one world government. You know, who knows? But
look into it.
The world is getting smaller, for sure. The world is getting smaller. And that's my gripe with that. We don't have to cover Royal Rumble anymore. Okay. But that was up my craw for a while. I was really pissed about it.
Yeah. No, I mean that is we're you know, that's a big thing in our society and the culture. If the price tag is right.
Yeah, and it's rough to swallow. Yeah. When money trumps your moral compass, or when money trumps your friendships and all that, that's a point of contention with me.
Especially when you have so much.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yes.
Like, it would be one thing if this is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Vince McMahon, but if he sold out Madison Square Garden, the check wouldn't be that big of a difference, I don't think.
I think there was reports of around $100 million that was given to the production of the event from the Saudi people. And the other thing I'll say too is about the event being lackluster is the entire ground floor was reserved for the royal family. Yeah. And
they don't get fired up.
No, dude, they're sitting there. They're on their cell phones. And like the 1980s cell phones, like the ones that are like that,
big ass,
right? They're on that.
Zach Morris.
They're yelling at their brat kids who are running around and jumping around because they're spoiled little entitled bastards. You know, hopefully no Saudi prince hears this and puts a hit on me, but I'm fired up.
I'm cool with all Saudi princes.
Yeah. So, like it was just awful. Yeah. Awful. Yep. So let's talk about something that wasn't awful though.
Well, no, we're gonna continue into awful because if we're gonna go here, I gotta say my piece on the NFL draft.
Yes.
Was the past weekend in
Yes.
Dallas.
Dallas
First
is
things
awful.
first. Yeah, Dallas is awful. First thing first, the Browns.
Browns.
The fucking Browns.
I was waiting to hear your thoughts on this.
Here's my thing. You've reached on quarterbacks countless times, right? Baker Mayfield is your guy. Sure. Maybe he's your guy. But is he head and shoulders above the Josh Allens, the Josh Rosens, the other quarterbacks in this field? Was he head and shoulders above? No.
No, he's 6 foot tall. He's not head and shoulders above
anybody.
me.
Right.
Barely.
So here's the thing. If you love Baker Mayfield, you're in love with Baker Mayfield, and you get stuck with Sam Darnold at 4, right? Is it that big of a deal? I say they should have taken Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not a big proponent of Penn State running backs because I think Penn State running backs have a huge history of not living up to it in the NFL.
Yeah.
For whatever, injury, whatever, all the way back to Gajana Carter, Curtis Enis. I think Larry Johnson was probably the best of them, but he only had a couple year window where he was truly a stud. But
they have a rough.
They do. They don't translate well for whatever reason. Like I said, injuries or bad placement in teams or whatever.
Right.
But Larry Johnson did have a legit good couple years there. But Saquon Barkley is a once in the draft talent. So why not take him and at 4 address your quarterback need if that's what you feel you need to do? But you reach with Baker Mayfield, right? So now he's Heisman Trophy winner, which another thing, Heisman Trophy winners don't translate all that well to the NFL. We haven't had many. I think Cam Newton is probably the best of the past 15, 20 years where guys that have lived up to the Heisman hype. But just a reach with Baker Mayfield. I know this is beating a dead horse because everybody's saying it, but fuck.
Well, rightfully so.
The Browns, and them taking a cornerback at 4 was a high risk, but that I can see because my thing from the Browns is you don't need to fix your franchise this draft.
No.
You're not going. Nothing you do in this draft is going to make you a fucking 10-win team to where you're going to be drafting in the 20s and 30s anyways. So you're going to have a top 15, top 10 pick. You need to draft somebody. If you're the Browns, you need to draft a player who's going to be on your roster 5 years from now.
Yes.
Doesn't need to be a Pro Bowler. Just needs to be a fucking starter. I would have been more satisfied if they took the best left tackle on the board. And that says, okay, we just want a guy who's going to... Baker Mayfield could be boom, right? Could be boom. He could be the savior of the... Or in a long list of fucking
failures
for the Browns, where he's not on your team 5 years from now.
Right.
That's a problem. The cornerback you took, if he's there 5 years from now, God bless you. But the Raiders went through that for a while, where they reached on talent or guys they fell in love with.
Right.
And if they're not on your roster 5 years from now, that's where the teams that are successful, they don't go for the sexiest pick on the board. They go for the guy who fits their system, fits their mold, fits what they want to do
2, 3, 5 years down the road.
That's it. You need a guy who's going to be a starter for you. You will find your superstar through free agency or through a different draft. Like I said, Baker Mayfield. But now, here's another thing, too. You had Tyrod Taylor, right, who's going to win you 5, 6, 7 games. But if he struggles, now what's Baker? Well, we just wasted a #1 draft pick on him. So let's throw him out there a little too soon, and then he gets shell-shocked. They're going to do.
Yeah.
So now there's pressure to do that.
Yes.
With the #1 overall pick, if you pick Saquon Barkley #1 and you pick Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield, would probably have been there at 4 anyways.
Yep.
Then he's a work in progress. He wasn't our #1 priority. And with Saquon Barkley, Tyrod Taylor, Landry, you have a serious amount of playmakers to where, listen, you guys went on 16. You're going to win 4 or 5 games, which is a fucking huge improvement. But you're still going to have a top 10 pick next year to where you can fill the need if you needed to get a quarterback next year or fill your needs on defensive, offensive line. I digress. Saquon Barkley goes to the Giants. Now we got to fucking deal with him for the next 10 years if he is who they say he is.
Right.
Which, fuck you, Giants.
And that was a pretty big statement from the Giants because basically they said, hey, Eli's our guy. Like,
Yeah.
unless they're looking at maybe picking up somebody to replace him.
No,
during
no,
free agency.
no. I think no.
Basically,
well,
they said, hey,
this year, he's our guy.
he's our guy.
Yes,
You
but
know?
they are in a position where they don't think they're going to win 12 games this year. They think they're going to win anywhere from 5 to 8 games. They
Right.
only won 3 games last year. I don't think they're going to vastly improve that much.
No.
To where they're still going to be picking in a
Yeah,
top 15.
they'll still be in a good position next draft.
Top 15 position where they can move up if they fall in love with a quarterback.
Right. Yes.
But I don't think. But they're smart. They go, I don't love any of these quarterbacks,
Right.
so I'm going to take the best guy on the board.
Yep.
Which was weird they didn't take the Bradley Chubb because they lost Pierre-Paul. They've lost Chock throughout the year. They've lost a lot of their pass rushers.
Yeah.
So I thought they were going to go with the pass rusher, which is usually when you're building a team in the NFL, it's quarterback. You need a quarterback one. If you can't get a quarterback, left tackle. Can't get a left tackle, you need a pass rusher. Don't have a pass rusher, cornerback. You know what I mean? Or a big secondary. Secondary is usually your later. You can fill those holes.
Fill those holes later on, yeah.
But it's quarterback, left tackle. So the guy who protects the quarterback and the guy who gets the quarterback are the two big musts. And for them to take Saquon Barkley says, fuck it, we're just going to try and outscore some teams, which they're not going to do. So they're going to win 7 games this year, or maybe a little less. It's going to be a tough division. But yeah, there was a ballsy pick by them. They knew they're going to ride with Eli. Which is ridiculous though, because they fucked his streak up last year.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They benched him for Geno Smith for a game.
That was so ridiculous.
But that's just
so
a
ridiculous.
poorly run.
And we have friends who are Giants fans, and
Yeah.
even we were sympathetic with them. We were like, "Man, we're sorry."
That's bullshit.
You know, like, you know, usually we're all like busting each other's balls, but you know, when they came in the train that day, we were like, "Man, we're sorry. That was some bullshit." You know.
That's a poorly run franchise right now. And they've been a poorly run franchise, but somehow they were able to win.
Yeah, sure. They win.
But they're so inconsistent. Out of most teams in the NFL with potential to be a great team, they're probably the most inconsistent, next to the Dallas Cowboys. But their hype is so high all the time that are they that inconsistent, or does every time they fucking sneeze or fart or shit, it makes headline news like the Yankees? So there's always undue pressure on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So I get that. But the Giants, they have had a ton of talent, and they've won 2 fucking Super Bowls over the past 10 years or so, to where, you know, they're fucking dicking around, bad coaching, bad management, bad drafting.
A lot, yeah. They had a lot.
But let's move on to
the highlight.
The highlight.
The highlight of the
highlight of
greatest
it.
moment
I've been
of
waiting
the
for this
draft.
for 365 days, ever since the Drew Pearson came to Philly last year during the draft and did his whole 5-time Super Bowl champs. Yeah, Philly, maybe you'll learn what a championship is like. Well, guess what?
Guess what?
Guess what happened? The Eagles won a little game called the Super Bowl.
Who?
The Eagles.
Who?
The Eagles.
Really?
The Philadelphia football Eagles.
Wow.
Are Super Bowl champions.
Really?
Yes. We haven't talked about this yet.
Yeah,
on
I
this
know.
podcast.
We haven't talked about this.
But they're the champions. And then everybody goes, oh, well, it's just one. Well, guess what? It's the best one.
Right.
The last one. The one that matters.
It's just one.
And it's just one. It's just one. I should have brought the ring. I've actually brought it. And then David Akers comes out.
Yep.
And well, first off, we trade up.
Let's talk about that. We trade up to go ahead.
Well, wait. Let's go back. We trade out of the first round. We don't take anybody in the first round,
Right.
which to me I think is a genius move on our part. Because one, we don't have that many picks. 2, we don't have that many goals.
Yeah, what did we have? 5 picks, 6 picks? We didn't have a lot.
We had the lowest in a long time. I think
Yeah.
we have 6 picks total. We did going into it. So we trade out of the 32nd pick, which is a really nice pick. I like that 32nd. I think we'll pick there next year too. 32nd.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's a good pick.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's a good pick to have if you earn it.
Why do you get that?
I think because you win the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's right.
You get a ring and you get the 32nd pick.
Right, okay.
Yep.
And who won that?
Oh, the Eagles.
Oh, the Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if anybody was aware of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So we trade up.
We trade out of the first round.
Trade out of the first round.
Which was a good move because there was nothing there that we needed.
No.
But we trade up from 52nd or 53rd pick to the 49th pick ahead of Dallas.
one pick
ahead of Dallas. just to take
who did we trade with? The Colts, right? We traded
the Colts. Yes.
Yeah,
we trade up, swap picks with the Colts to move up to take a tight end, which was great because
awesome.
Jason Witten, probably the most likable Cowboy of all time, retires, and they need to fill that hole because of them letting go of Des Bryant. They need to fill that gap.
Yes.
So we move up, steal the pick. We trot out David Akers to fucking troll championship talk, and then the fucking line of the draft. Hey Dallas, the last time you guys were in a Super Bowl, these draft picks weren't even alive. Yes!
Oh, it was so good.
Burn! And it's
so
a
good.
fucking kicker roasting you.
That was the best part of it. Like, choosing to send Akers out there.
Yeah.
And Akers has been a massive part of the Eagles
Yeah,
franchise.
and he's a Hall of Famer.
I'm not discounting him, but he's a kicker.
But he's a kicker.
Like, so you're
Hall of Famer,
yeah,
but he's a kicker.
He's a kicker. So, like, you're going to send your kicker out there, who is
troll.
arguably the weakest, physically least imposing member of any football team.
Hold on, though. David Akers, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt.
But I'm saying physically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The smallest guy in the field.
Smallest guy in the field, right? You send him out there to just troll. Genius.
Right.
I don't know if that was calculated as part of it.
I think it. Well, I as a fan knew. Like me and Sensi, shout out Jay. We went and saw the Avengers, and then we went to the bar because we had a feeling they were going to trade out of it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to see this because we knew it was coming. As soon as we won it, and we talked about the draft this year, and we won the Super Bowl, we go, dude, I wonder who they're going to bring out there to fucking troll Dallas, because they trolled us with the whole Drew Pearson fucking talking shit about the 5-time champions.
Yep.
And I was just salivating. So we got to the restaurant to watch the draft around like pick 9. And we sat there for fucking 20 some picks just for us to trade out at the last second. It was brutal, but it was worth it. I saw it in the second round, and it was everything I hoped for. I thought they were gonna send Jason Kelsey out there though to give his fucking speech. You know?
Yeah.
You know.
You would have expected it though. I like the swerve.
Yeah, no, it was nice. It was nice. Yeah, I mean, because
it was very crying game.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah.
I was expecting maybe Dawkins or something like that.
Dawkins I could have seen, but yeah, David Akers.
Good.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. And we needed a tight end, right? Cause
yes, we needed a tight end.
Burton.
Selleck is kind of retired.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Burton signed with the Bears.
Yep.
We did get Rick Rogers. I think that's his name. From the tight end from the Packers. He's a good number 2. Because I feel like Zach Ertz right now is peaking as potentially the top 3 best tight ends in the league, behind maybe a guy or two, like Kelsey or Gronk or whoever.
Yeah. That's who Goddard kind of reminds me of, is Kelsey a little bit. Yeah.
And we spread the love. I mean, Trey Burton didn't get many catches in numbers, but his catches counted. A lot of touchdowns, a lot of big plays from the back end tight end. We use a 2 tight end set a lot, so we needed a tight end. That was one of the holes that we do have. Other than that, I mean, we drafted. How we drafted the rugby guy? Never played a down of football in his life.
Yeah.
Which was a weird.
Well, wasn't that Hogan? Wasn't Hogan a rugby guy from the Patriots?
Yeah, but he played football
Did he play
at some
football?
point. This dude is just some guy from New Zealand or something like that. I don't. He's a monster though.
I'll have to check into it more.
And he's like 6'something", 300 pounds, but they wanted to play tackle. You see his highlights of him running in rugby. I would say put that dude at fullback. Fuck that. Hell yeah.
Run somebody over.
4th and short, man. Let him go.
You mentioned next year's draft with the Giants being looking forward to next year's draft. They'll be in a good spot. We're going to be in a good spot too next year, because we're going to have at least 10 picks next year, because we traded, because we gave stuff up to get this year for this year. We gave Wentz, Ajayi, and who else? It'll come to me after we're off the air here, but we traded away a couple of picks for this draft to get those guys in. So that's why we were a little short on picks this year. But next year we'll have.
But we're built so well right now.
But that's
as
but
we
what I'm
stand
saying
right
is
now,
next year now we'll
yeah.
be able to go, okay, hey, we got 10, so let's start looking at the guys who
Yeah.
we can put in there
Right.
3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the road,
Yeah.
who we can groom over time now, you know, so.
But they've done a great, shout out to Howie Roseman, because he has done such a great job at constructing this roster. Because, I mean, you just look at this year, and it wasn't, the Eagles didn't win a Super Bowl based on they're the best team. They were the best constructed team.
Yes.
Because we didn't have Julio Jones or Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have Le'Veon Bell or Zeke Elliott. We
Tom
didn't
Brady.
have. We did. I mean, we had Wentz. Wentz
yeah.
was the guy, but you know, Wentz went down, and the train kept moving. We lost our starting Hall of Fame left tackle, and the train kept moving. We lost Sproles, who was a dynamic playmaker, and the train kept going. Jordan Hicks, our stud middle linebacker, but the train kept going, and that was something that made this Super Bowl so special. We didn't talk about this, but to me, that's what made this more special than picking on the Cowboys a little bit, but like the 93 or 95 Cowboys, where they had the number 1 or number 2 guys at every position that mattered. Like Troy Aikman was a consensus top 3 quarterback across the board. Michael Irvin was arguably the first or second best wide receiver in the league. You know, Jay Novacek, one of the top tight ends. Emmitt Smith, the best running back. Defensively, you had Dion, you had Leon Lett, you had all these studs, Charles Haley, Ken Norton. You had all these guys that are highest paid, but we were put together with the 10th best, the 5th best, the 6th best, the 8th best, but it was every single position, and the backup.
And they meshed.
And the backup. Like we had a hodgepodge in our secondary of mixing guys. Darby breaks his ankle first week of the season. Patrick Robinson steps in. Jalen Mills steps up. You know, Jordan Hicks gets hurt. Fucking Malcolm Jenkins, our safety, is playing tons of snaps at linebacker. So it's just the way this team is constructed. I just feel bad for the NFC East for a couple of years. If we could stay healthy stay you know, focused. I mean, even we lost a couple of guys on the defensive line, but we just, next guy up, we get Michael Bennett to fill in for Vinny Curry. We got Barnett, a rookie who flashed last year. He didn't play tons of minutes and tons of snaps, but when he did, he flashed. Every time he was in there, it was a sack, it was a fumble recovery. He recovered the fumble in the strip sack in the Super Bowl. He was the guy there picking the ball up. You can't teach being in the right place at the right time like that all the time, and he did it again against the Rams. They were doing the fucking passing it back. He ended up picking it up. He ended up picking it up and fucking taking it back for a touchdown. But we a very, very well constructed team. Opposite. Again, I'm going to pick on the Cowboys. Where the Cowboys, they're aesthetically good. They have
alienating viewers.
Yes, they have a top at this position, this position, this position. Ezekiel Elliott might be the best running back in the league, but his backup is not even close. So there's such a drop off in production. You know, Des Bryant was at one point best receiver in the league, but the number 2, 3, 4 guy, there's a drop off in production now when he's not stepping up and playing. Sean Lee, great linebacker, but all I hear from Cowboys fans are, oh, Sean Lee got hurt, that's why our defense sucks. Well, if you lose one middle linebacker and your whole defense is shot, then how well is your team? Like, you don't give me you're a good team, tell me you got good players. And that's a big difference of why the Eagles are successful and have been successful since the 2000s. And now that we have a Super Bowl ring to put on our cap, it's a beautiful thing because we've been such a good, well-run, respectful organization for the past 18 years since Andy Reid got there and Donovan McNabb got there and Lurie took over to where, you know, for a while it felt bad because everyone would say, oh, well, McNabb couldn't win it, T.O. and Westbrook. And you look back at that era and you go, man, it was so hollow because we had the potential to be something. But now that we have it, those were important years. We were learning how to build as a franchise because we went from a 3-13. We were a fucking miserable team. After Cunningham left, we were bad. And we were the bad news bears, where we would pick a fight with you. We would lose the game, but pick a fight with you. And from the inception of Andy Reid on, we've just been a classy organization. And for us to beat the fucking Patriots as well, where they're the the evil empire, so to speak, and we're doing it with a backup quarterback and a bunch of no name. So for the most part, I'm not saying they're no name. Brandon Graham is a stud and Malcolm Jenkins is a stud, but in the grand scheme of things,
your average football fan doesn't
they
know.
don't flash, right? Like even Wentz, like people are like, yeah, I guess he's all right, you know, but it wasn't like we didn't have the marquee names. Nick Foles, I mean, come on, you know, these weren't marquee names. Alshon Jeffrey, which to me, he's a fucking stud, but all I heard was, he's all right, he wasn't that good on the Bears, but it was a beautiful experience this year. I think it was my favorite year of football I've ever watched. Even though we ended up with the Super Bowl, if we fell short, it still would have been one of my favorite years because it was just
good.
We just kept fighting. It was beautiful.
So good.
Yep.
So good. I think that covers everything we wanted to talk about today, man. It's just,
man.
Any final thoughts, questions, concerns on the draft? Anything else?
No, man. The Eagles built
looking
some.
forward to a good year of whatnot. So we'll be back next week, and I promise no political diatribe. Well, I can't promise that, but it might be a little bit. I have to, I have to show people I'm not just a dummy.
Yeah.
I think a lot of you guys think I'm dummies. I don't know, because I like fart jokes.
Glue couches.
And glue couch. We'll tell that story.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll.
We'll let that one go.
A different time.
Yeah.
A different time. We'll do a different time. Tyler's cranky. He needs to sleep.
Yeah, I gotta eat actually.
You're on like 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
so.
2 hours of sleep.
All right.
Good stuff.